Hey there, book besties. It's Maria, and I'm back for another book review. For the month of December, we're going to be reviewing Thieves Gambit. This book triggered me, so I did not finish it, and I have some thoughts and feelings about it. So let's just go ahead and dive right in, and I'll try to keep this one a little short since I didn't actually finish the book. The book description says, at only 17 years old, Ross Quest is already a master thief, especially adept at escape plans. Until her plan to run away from her legendary family of thieves takes an unexpected turn, leaving her mother's life hanging in the balance. In a desperate bid, she enters the Thieves Gambit, a series of dangerous international heists where killing the competition isn't exactly off limits, but the grand prize is a wish for anything in the world, a wish that could save her mom. When she learns two of her competitors include her childhood nemesis and a handsome, smooth-talking guy who might also want to steal her heart, winning the gambit becomes trickier than she imagined. Ross tries her best to stick to the family creed. Trust no one whose last name isn't Quest. But with the stakes this high, Ross will have to decide who to con and who to trust before time runs out. After all, only one of them can win. Like I said a bit earlier, I did not finish this book. So I can't vouch for who I would recommend this book for, so I just went for how the publisher has this book listed on Amazon. We have a YA book, so anyone who enjoys young adult reads, it's in the same vein as like Twilight in that YA spectrum. I know that A Court of Thorns and Roses is listed as YA. It's not. It's an adult book and it should be listed as such. Anyone who enjoys a thriller, which is why I had picked this up in the first place, because I do enjoy a good thriller book every once in a while. And there is a romantic subplot, so anyone who enjoys romance. My thoughts for the setting, the book has a bit of White Room syndrome for me. I don't really remember where it was set. It was not enough for me to really be like imagining a vibrant place in my head. So like it was kind of clearly set in a real world sort of setting, but I can't even tell you where it was set, to be honest with you. The characters, the only ones that I remember at this point that were significant to me were the main character Ross and her mom. For the theme, I don't have a lot to say about it. I obviously didn't finish the book, so I can't dive into much detail as far as that goes. We are about to enter spoiler territory, so just a heads up, if you don't want to know why I DNF'd the book, you should stop here, look down in the pinned comment, and find the place where the next section starts. I didn't make it past chapter 4 of this book because of what I knew from the book description and what I had already seen of Ross's mother. The description says that Ross joins the Thieves Gambit to save her mother's life, which is great. Saving a parent's life is a very noble cause. I think a lot of people would be motivated by doing that. So it's a really compelling story as far as that goes. Unfortunately, Ross's mom is incredibly toxic, and from my personal experiences with a toxic parent, I was unable to keep reading because I'm going to be honest with you, I would not save my mother's life in this situation because of how toxic Ross's mother is. And this leads me into my own personal story time and the real reason why I decided to DNF this book. I don't talk about this very often, especially on the internet, but my mother is a narcissist. According to my therapist, she thinks that my mother also has a comorbid case of borderline personality disorder. I've been reading a book about borderline mothers, and I do see a lot of similarities between the borderline personality disorders described in that book and my own mother growing up. That's what triggered me so hard reading this book. Ross's mother reminded me so vividly about my own traumas from a mother who would slip into a very dark place and manipulate, gaslight, guilt trip, just ultimately making me feel less than when she's supposed to be the person who lifted me up. I could not see myself knowing a very toxic parental relationship in my personal life, going out of my way to rescue my mother from whatever fate Ross's mom goes through in this book. I would not be motivated to save my own mother in this situation. And that is the thing that made me stop reading this book. To me, it was completely unrelatable. I waited a while to do this book review because part of me hoped that I would get further along in my healing journey with my therapist and feel more comfortable reading this book, but I never did. So for me, I wasn't able to go back and read this book. It's not worth it to me to trigger myself just to find out what happens at the end. So for me, not having finished the book, I went ahead and gave this book 3 stars. The writing is solid. It wasn't bad by any means, but because I couldn't finish the book, I really couldn't go much further than 3 stars to give it a rating. Not having finished the book, I think 3 stars is fairly generous. I obviously can't personally recommend this book, but the book does have a lot of great ratings online. So if you're not turned off by parental unit that is not exactly the nicest person in the world, being a very important and motivation-driven character throughout the narrative, then you might enjoy this. But personally, I can't recommend it. I couldn't read enough of it in order to say, yes, do it. Anyway, thank you for being here. The whole point of this review series is not just so I share all of my 5-star reads or my 4-star reads. I do want to be honest and say that there are some books that I don't finish, or books that I do finish because I want to know the ending, but I didn't enjoy very much. So I will be posting a few kind of more honest and raw reviews, as it were. I have a couple of them that I'm thinking about reviewing in the near future, so I do hope that you'll subscribe. It's free and you can always change your mind later. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like this video, comment down below. If you've read this book, did you enjoy it? Also, what book should I review next? Thanks for being here. See you next time.